Thank you, Madam Secretary. I'm the budget chairman, and we will have a budget. My Democrat colleagues, the last 4 years, did not have a budget. So it's rich when I hear them talk about us presenting a budget. Second thing I want the American people to know is y'all sent your budget late, and so the process is delayed. And we're going to take our time, and I hope you appreciate this, to unpack what's in this massive budget proposal. We're going to analyze it, and we're going to lay it out for the American people. So that will be the process. We will have a budget, and we will be able to compare not just the numbers, but the priorities, the policies, the values, and the vision that we differ on for the future of this country. Quick question, if you could, just a yes or no on this. Does the amount of government spending that we have been pushing out over the last couple of years, about $10 trillion, 6 of that is borrowed money, that's adding to the debt, about $6 trillion. Has that contributed to this 15 consecutive months of record inflation? And as you I'm sure are aware, inflation that is cutting the budgets of our working families, really devastating poor people and seniors on a fixed income. But is spending contributed to that? Federal government spending contributed to that, yes or no?
Well, I believe that was critically important support to make sure we didn't end up with a scarred labor force at a time when the risk was we could see.
So is that a yes, that has spending contributed to inflation? Just yes or no? Forget your reasons why. You make that case to the American people. I'll say that the American Rescue Plan that was Democrat supported, no Republicans, jammed through, was more about bailing out union pensions and paying teachers' unions for schools that never opened to our children. We can debate that point.
Well,
does spending contribute to inflation?
I believe that most of the inflation we've experienced reflects disruptions from the pandemic, the supply side of the economy.
Madam Secretary, please, and with all due respect, I ask for a simple answer. The American people know that the spending that has flooded the marketplace has created this gap in supply and demand, and it is punishing as the worst of regressive taxes on all Americans. And here's the insulting thing, and again, with all due respect, this is insulting, that your budget, the president's budget, increases spending. The budget has the highest sustained levels of spending, taxes, and deficits in the history of the United States of America. Now, I want to finish on this. You've requested $100 billion more in just discretionary spending. If you do the average amount of spending that you all have requested in the last 3 years, the actual and the requested, we'd be $3 trillion over the $20 trillion that CBO is projecting. It's bankrupting the country, and it's insulting that your budget comes back, your proposal is more of the same.
I'm sorry, there's $3 trillion of deficit reduction over
Nobody
the next
believes
10
that.
years in this budget.
I appreciate that
there
on
are
paper.
ways, it's one thing to spend when you don't pay for it, and it's another thing to spend when you do, and there are revenue raisers in this budget that more than finance the additional spending.
Y'all have added $6 trillion to the debt, and even if I believe what you put on paper, you're taking off half of that. Only half of the $6 trillion you've added, as if you're trying to give a gift back to them. Here's half of your money back. We're going to help save the country by giving half the money that we borrowed on the backs of our children. I just don't believe it, and I look forward to more conversations, and I appreciate your service.